G'day guys, and welcome to lesson number 2 of the party time unit. You can see the joy in this person's face just grows and grows through our first lesson. I highly recommend that you do lesson 1 before you do lesson 2. Because the skills and knowledge in lesson 2 build upon those in lesson 1. Once again, in this unit, we're still focusing on skills that are around fractions and decimals. All right. In this video, I am going to run us through a warm-up where we tune in to this sort of set of knowledge and activate our brains. And then I will also describe the task options at the various skill levels. Okay, the warm-up looks like this. Here I have the written name or the numerical form of 4 different fractions, and what I want you to do are to put these fractions in order from smallest to largest. So I'll write that down. Put fractions in order from smallest to largest. As per normal with our warm-up, the answer isn't the most important part. What we're trying to do with the warm-up is to get our brains ticking and thinking along the appropriate lines for today's task. So I'll give you a little bit of thinking time with this problem, and I encourage you to write them down. So write down the 4 fractions and put them in order from smallest to largest. All right. If you're completely stuck, then I suggest what you do, building on the skills from last week, draw a picture to represent these 4 fractions. With a picture, it will help you put them in order from smallest to largest. And in fact, here's one that I prepared earlier. So you can see here 3/3 are represented with this picture. 1/2 is represented here. 1/4 or 1/4 is represented here. And 5/4 is represented here. So with this picture, we can see that 1/4 is in fact the smallest. 1/4. The next largest is 1/2 or 1/2. The next is 3/3. And the largest fraction is 5/4. But again, the correct answer isn't the most important part of this. Just getting us thinking about fractions will be really useful to us before we tackle this task. Okay, in today's task, there are 3 options as per usual, and I'll remind you to not based on what option you were working on last week, but rather just pick the option that feels right to you, that feels like the appropriate amount of difficulty. Not too hard that it's overwhelming, not too easy that you are bored and that you're not challenging yourself. Pick the level that is just right. Okay, so the 1-star task involves this. You'll identify the size of a fraction from its name. So you'll be taking the name of a fraction, just like for example, these four, and you'll use that name or that numerical, that number representation to identify how large that fraction is. At level 2, or the 2-star task, you'll use a fraction's size to position it on a number line. So you'll be given a number line. This might be a familiar idea to you, but you'll be taking the size of fractions to position them in an accurate spot on that number line. And the 3rd level task will have you working with your number line. You will compare fractions to each other and you'll contrast fractions to each other. But in particular, you will look at some special types of fractions. So improper fractions, mixed numbers, and decimal numbers. So as per usual, take these descriptions to guide you towards which task you choose that sounds like it's at the right level for you. Cheers.